Hello everybody and happy Energy Sword Sunday. Today I'm going to be doing something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. I finally got my hands on an old Xbox 360 with a snap-on hard drive. I have my old hard drives from my old 360 back in 2009, and I'm going to show you some of my Forge maps that I made way back then. Almost maybe even 10 years ago, a whole decade ago, I worked on these Forge maps, and I think they're pretty cool. So I wanted to show them off. I'm going to go through them, talk about the layout of the weapons, the spawns. I don't really actually talk about the spawns, but because it's not that interesting. But I'll look at the geometry and the layout of the weapons, and then after that, I'm actually going to go in the map and change a few things. Maybe mix it up, change some weapon spawns that I didn't think were good. Because a decade ago, 10 years ago, when I was 19, no, it was 2009 actually. It's yeah, 10 years ago, so I was about 15, 16. I didn't exactly have the best idea of how to balance the map or put weapons in the right place. A few of them are pretty good, but we're gonna go in and look at them. I'm loading up the game right now. I'm playing the Mythic multiplayer only disc that came with ODST. If you're wondering how I'm recording footage, I'm not using an Elgato or anything like that. I'll actually make a separate video showing how I'm recording off the old Xbox 360 without a capture card, but it involves an Xbox One. We're here in the main menu. I booted up the game, very nostalgic opening theme thing from Bungie and Microsoft, and we're just gonna load up the map right away. It's gonna start loading. It's loading a lot faster than it did earlier. It actually took about a minute for the entire map to load earlier when I was loading it. First map we're going to load up is called Paragon. I like to give my maps very edgy old names, like what Bungie might give a name. You know how they have like Mythic and Legendary and stuff like that. Right off the bat, it seems like a pretty small map. There's a nice two-layer verticality to it. There's sniper rifle, a few trenches. And we're just going to go through it for a little bit and just do a little walkthrough. There's a fun little area where you can jump over it. There's a lift in the middle. There's a nice little outcrop area over here past the lift where there's still some verticality going on, but it's a more open space. Nice power drain up there. I think that when I was younger, I imagined people would use it kind of for an area control because the platform is just about as high as the effect. So they just throw it down to control the area and maybe get a few headshots in. I like the little design thing that I have going through this level where I have those pillars stacked up different colors around the map. Nice little trenches over here. There's a sniper again. Overshield on the other side. You can actually jump across this little section here without using the lift, but it's kind of, you have to do it perfectly. Here's the shotgun. Not a huge fan of the shotgun now that I think about back when I was playing the game, but I know the younger me liked it. And that kind of shotgun area winds around, has an elbow there that leads back over to the overshield into these rooms over here. And there's a carbine leading this way down into a trench. And this trench is kind of like claustrophobic. It's a very small hallway. And there's a few maps I've looked at that I have these kind of small hallways, but at least you could kind of fight back by throwing grenades up or something using the bullet shield that's there. I'm going to work on the access points to that hallway in a little bit when we work on changing up the map later. And see, I just keep throwing grenades up there. There's only 2 grenades. I actually cut it because I was reusing that footage, but here's the overshield that you could jump over to. And there's actually a couple ways to get that overshield, and I'll show that a little bit later. And here's a sniper rifle. Kind of a small map to have a sniper rifle on. I mean, this map's even smaller than Lockout, and that has a sniper. Not a lot of range for you to see people and shoot them. This room's a little boring, but I think we'll work on that a little bit later. Overshield seems to spawn a little too quickly, I'm noticing here. But I like the layout of this level. I think it's pretty interesting. Let's just delete the ceilings and get an aerial view of the map. I think for a 15-year-old, this is a pretty interesting layout. I definitely downloaded a lot of things from file share in my time that have looked awful in comparison. And now if we just look at the map, I've got a couple of interesting things here. If you go up to this wall here, I actually have gravity lifts on behind the pillars, behind the walls, because the gravity lifts actually give off a kind of interesting sparkly fairy sound. I thought it was interesting. I must have had some budget left over after making the map, that it would be nice to be able to hear it like that. And here's a second way to get the overshield. You could actually jump up through the bottom, which I thought would be cool if somebody was running at it from the side while they're already on the second floor and you just grabbed it out from under them. Here's a little bit of footage demonstrating the lift and how it helps you get across. Well, it's not really used to get across. I'm just demonstrating that you can. It's mostly to get up to the vertical, to the higher up second floor. Here's some kind of side view things where you could see through the wall here and shoot at people. Get a good look at anybody running towards overshield, or just for map awareness, see somebody running that way, you know they're going to come around the corner, just in case you're not playing with like the motion sensor or something. Then just a quick fly through of the map, and then we're going to go into Forge and we're going to edit it, kind of update it, make it more what I would want in a Forge map or in a multiplayer map these days. And by these days I don't mean Halo 5 because that game is garbage. So we're going to jump into Forge here, and right off the bat, overshield spawns too quickly. I'm going to change it to probably a minute respawn rate so that it doesn't respawn quite as quickly. I don't like the shotgun. I think it's a little overpowered, so I'm going to swap it out with the Mauler. Kind of get that shoot and punch combo going that takes a little bit more skill than just one hitting people with the shotgun. Also, I just think it's sign wise it's a much more interesting weapon than the shotgun. We're gonna get rid of the sniper too. We're gonna add a power weapon later, but the sniper, it doesn't really work on this map. There's not a lot of lines of sight that it's really useful on, so we're just gonna get rid of it. And I'm noticing here there's a lot of accurate weapons. There's a carbine here, then a battle rifle, and another carbine, just on these 3 layers here. So I got rid of one of the carbines. Still clumped the accurate weapons around, so I'm going to get rid of this assault rifle. I'm going to move the battle rifle a little further away and to a more obvious spot for players to see, because they'll be running past the area and they'll probably want to grab it. Just going to move that in place there. And then let's see what else we got. This area here, the tunnel feels very claustrophobic. I'm going to try and open this up and create another kind of area where you can vertically get around without having the grenade jump, because you could get up there with grenade jumping, but then you're susceptible to more damage and dying. So I'm gonna run in here, I'm gonna refresh my old Forge skills, and I'm gonna build a little pathway that goes off the side here. Gotta put the kind of scaffolding in place to place any kind of object if you want it to float. So I'm putting these small blocks here, and then gonna perfectly place this little wall here. Look at that, look how perfectly that lines up right there, and it's pretty much perfectly even with the floor too. I still got my old Forge skills, and I've set those blocks to respawn, so they'll be back. This battle rifle, I'm moving it back over here because it's still a little close to the carbine that's on the second floor right here. So I'm gonna come in here, and wow, it just like no bump on the foot when you walk over at all. I'm actually pretty impressed with myself with how smooth that is. Now you got a second look over down into the place down there, and the people down there have a little more coverage too, so it's a little less cross. It is still claustrophobic, but I'm gonna add another way to get up. Got rid of the brute shot because we're gonna put an explosive weapon here actually, and it's kind of weird if we had the brute shot and the rocket near each other. I'm gonna move the rocket here just so there is a power weapon on the map. And I think that'll be, the rocket will be pretty fun for this level if I just increase the timer for the respawn and give it no spare clips, so you just got 2 shots that you have to carefully use. And I'm going to put move this bubble shield a little bit over so that people running down the hallway facing rockets will be able to grab it and kind of defend themselves from it. And I think that's kind of interesting. So the rocket people, if there was somebody down there, rockets could potentially blow themselves up, or have to just avoid that interaction entirely. Got rid of the brute shot in the battle rifle over here, so I'm going to put a needler. There's kind of some nice, slight, medium, small range areas here where the needler might be useful, and I think it kind of works. Kind of a longer range there. It'll go around the corners a little bit when you shoot. Putting in the second spot here that will allow you to get up onto the second floor. Maybe intercept somebody with rockets, or come up there with the mauler and kill them when they pick up rockets. And that's about it. I think that's no, actually, I think there's a couple things that we're gonna put in this map. This area is a little barren, so I'm gonna throw a magnum down there, just so there's more headshot capable weapons, but not super accurate weapons all over the map. I think now we have about 3 accurate weapons. We have we have 2 battle rifles, I believe, and 1 carbine, something like that. And I'm gonna move the mauler over here. I'm switching spots with the mauler and the plasma pistols. Not the plasma pistols, the plasma grenades. So the mauler is kind of visible there. You could climb up here and grab it, and it's kind of more illustrated where it is by that post, that kind of glowing pillar that's there. And that's pretty much all I got to do for editing the map, and I'm going to save it. I was very surprised to see that there's an agreement that I had to accept. I'm going to take the original name, Paragon, and I'm just going to put a nice 2019 at the end, saying it's the modern version of it. Overall, I thought this map was really nice. It was really fun. I'm impressed with my 15-year-old self for putting it together, but there was just a few things I wanted to change. Getting close to that custom content limit right there. I hope you guys like this video. I had a lot of fun making it. One more thing I got to change about the map. I'm going to edit the description. It said 2 to 8 people. I think that's a little bit too much. I'm going to change that to 2 to 6. That sounds more reasonable. Maybe even 2 to 5, but I want to keep it even for the teams. But thanks for watching this video. If you like it, please subscribe, like it, share it around with anyone you know who might like Halo and might want to watch the video. I'm going to be posting more videos in the future, Halo related, more Forge Map videos, and I'm really looking forward to doing those. If you are interested in following me on Twitter, my Twitter handle is cyberbully20xx. That is just my personal Twitter, but I also run what is it called? Energy Sword Sunday Twitter. Just hashtag Energy Sword Sunday anytime you want to post something related to that, and that's at @theofficial_ESS. I am the creator of Energy Sword Sunday. I made it a couple of years ago on Tumblr, moved it over to Twitter, and I'm excited to be a part of the Halo community. I'm looking very forward to it. So hit me up on there, or like and subscribe, follow me on there. Thanks for watching. Bye.